Hey everyone, welcome back. In the last video, we explored secure hosting for React single-page application on AWS with private S3 buckets. Today, we'll delve into a different scenario, using AWS S3 to host a static website with a public S3 bucket. So, let's get started. Alright, let's dive into the project architecture for this public S3 bucket setup. Similar to the last video, we'll utilize two S3 buckets. First bucket is for root domain, which is a private bucket. This bucket will redirect all the requests to the subdomain. To do so, we enable static website hosting with redirect requests for this bucket. Second bucket is for subdomain, which is a public bucket. This bucket will house all your website's publicly accessible contents. Also, we enable static website hosting for this bucket. Remember, only store intended public content in this bucket. Sensitive information or private files should never reside here. Finally, just like the previous video, we'll leverage the power of CloudFront distributions and Route53 configurations. This duo will ensure efficient content delivery and seamless domain routing for both your root domain and subdomain. You'll need a domain name. You can purchase one from AWS Route53 or any other domain registrar. You'll also need an SSL certificate for your domain. In this guide, I will be using Route53 to obtain one. Alright, next step is securing our website with an SSL certificate. I'll be requesting a wildcard certificate for my domain name. The first step is to enter my fully qualified domain name. Then, I'll specify that I want a wildcard certificate to secure all subdomains under this domain as well. Once we have the wildcard certificate, we need to configure our domain to use it. We'll do this by creating a hosted zone for our domain name in AWS Route53. Now that Route53 has finished setting up the hosted zone, we can now create the CNAME records needed for our SSL certificate. We'll do this conveniently within the AWS Certificate Manager console. Alright, now we need to configure your domain name to point to your website hosted on AWS. If you purchased your domain name from a provider like Hostinger, you'll need to update the name servers within their domain management console. This essentially tells the internet where to find your website. However, if you purchased your domain name directly through AWS Route53, you can skip this step entirely. Now, let's create a new S3 bucket on AWS. We'll name it according to our subdomain. We'll stick with the default settings for this bucket for now, but we will change access permissions and other configurations later in this video. Perfect. We've got the S3 bucket set up for our subdomain. Now, to handle the root domain as well, let's create another S3 bucket. We'll name it after our root domain. We'll stick with the default settings. It's time to upload our website content to the subdomain S3 bucket. I already have a simple website which I created using Gatsby.js. We'll upload all the generated static files to the subdomain S3 bucket. Alright, we've uploaded the website files, but there's one more step to make it accessible under both the root domain and subdomain. We'll configure the root domain S3 bucket for static website hosting with a redirect. This essentially tells anyone visiting the root domain to be automatically sent to the subdomain where the website resides. Now, if you try to access your website directly by entering the bucket website endpoint, it will automatically redirect you to the subdomain which we added previously. Now we set up static website hosting for subdomain S3 bucket. We'll leverage the power of static website hosting offered by S3. We'll keep the default configurations and simply specify index.html as the index document. This tells S3 which file to serve as the default landing page when someone accesses your public subdomain. Now, we'll configure the subdomain bucket for public access. First, we'll need to disable a security feature called Block Public Access. This setting prevents accidental public exposure of your bucket. By unchecking the Edit Block Public Access checkbox, we're essentially saying we want to manage public access settings ourselves. Next, we'll create a specific policy for this bucket. We'll use a special tool called the Policy Generator to easily create a policy that grants public read access only. Following these steps in the Policy Generator will ensure you create a policy that grants full public access to your S3 bucket. Once you've finished crafting the policy using the generator, simply copy and paste it into the designated Policy field within the S3 bucket settings. This policy acts like a set of rules that determines who can access the bucket and what actions they can perform. This means anyone can download objects, files, from the bucket using the getObject API call, but they can't perform other actions like listing all objects or deleting them. Let's test if the public can access our website content by visiting the bucket website endpoint we just created. Now let's create a CloudFront distribution for our subdomain. We will use the S3 bucket's website endpoint as the origin, so we don't need to create an origin access control in this case. That is the only difference here. The rest of the configuration will be similar to the previous video. We'll also create a CloudFront distribution specifically for the private root domain S3 bucket. Similar to the subdomain setup, for the origin setting within the CloudFront distribution, we'll use the website endpoint of the private root domain S3 bucket. The rest of the configuration will be very similar to what we just created for the subdomain. For the alternate domain name section, we'll use our actual root domain name. The rest of the configuration can be similar to the subdomain distribution. The final step is to configure our Route53 hosted zone to point visitors to our website. We'll do this by creating alias records for each of the CloudFront distributions we just created. Now you try accessing your website using both the subdomain and root domain in your web browser. You should be seamlessly redirected to the website content hosted on the subdomain S3 bucket. Alright everyone, that's all I have for today. I hope you found this video helpful in the context of cloud computing. See you next time with another exciting topic. Leave a comment below with any questions you have. Don't forget to subscribe for more exciting tutorials. I've also included a link in the description below to a detailed article about this topic.